Why are you connecting, game? What's going on? Shouldn't need to connect after just defeat the final boss.
Then I will be denied my reunion.
We've won, Sombron.
Now I will never return home. Perhaps that is just as well. I am tired. Tired of searching in every shadow.
Yeah, I still don't get an explanation about who the Zero Emblem is.
For the Emblem of Foundations?
I would look in sunless woods, gloomy caves, the shade of a dead tree. In such places, I felt my emblem again. Now, that is all over.
You chose to be alone, yet continued to look for this emblem. Why?
Perhaps I wanted someone to appreciate how far I had come, all on my own. Someone to see me, who I am. After millennia of being cast away.
I could have been that person. Or Vale, or our siblings. Why didn't you let us? Why choose to start these wars?
I need no connections. Not in your world.
Even at the end, you don't want to be a father to us. Very well. You'll be only the Fell Dragon, an evil that we slayed. That's how we'll remember you.
Do as you please. I have been alone for all this time. Why should my death be different? I do not need mercy or pity. I will fade in this place, apart from the one I yearn to see.
Do you remember the invocation?
What?
The invocation for the Emblem of Foundations.
I have tried. Again and again I said the words. It was no use.
Still, it couldn't hurt to try. One last time.
One last reveal?
All right. Burn. Burn us, Emblem of Foundations.
That's the Fire Emblem invocation.
Oh, this light. Oh, at last. At last we meet again.
Papa? I don't see anyone.
I don't either. It must be someone only he can see. An old friend. The one person he truly let in.
You and I. Let us be on our way. Once more. Engage.
And off he goes, glittering into the distance.
Papa.
He's gone. And the ring for the Emblem of Foundations. That's gone with him. Our fight is over. Let's go home. It's time to shut this portal, once and for all. The portal is closing. Once it's shut, the war ends, and balance returns to the world.
We did it!
really time to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
This was a wonderful journey. Thank you for letting us share it with you.
No. Thank you, Marth. I'm so sad to see you go. But it's time to stand tall and say goodbye. Thank you for keeping your promise. You really were my ally, my friend, through it all. I just hope I'll be strong enough for whatever lies ahead.
You will be. You're already much stronger than 1,000 years ago. Or the day you awakened. I know you'll carry on the Emblem's legacy. And your mother's. We will not be here to help you anymore. Now, it's your turn to help others. As the Divine Dragon, and as an emblem.
I will.
You're not doing this alone. We'll be there to support you, brother.
We can't replace Marth and the others, but we'll do what we can.
Yes. Please, don't worry. It's no good. Here come the tears.
I wish we didn't have to lose you.
We were just getting to know you, and now... goodbye forever?
Please do not cry.
But
This world's burdens are yours to shoulder. Meet them proudly. You should not always hold back tears. But please, for now, try to.
I agree. I'd like for us to part with smiles on our faces. That's how I want us to remember each other. In joy, not sorrow.
me too.
Aww.
It seems this is goodbye. But we'll never bid farewell to what we learned together.
I'll miss you, but I know you'll choose the right paths to walk.
We'll always be together in spirit, no matter the distance. Build a bright future.
Don't worry. I can see that your lives will be filled with hope and happiness.
Go out and create a better world. I know you can. I know you will.
I will be praying for you. Praying that your world is filled with kindness and laughter. Wherever you go, may the blessings of Mother Earth and Father Sky follow.
I'm glad to have known you. I hope you make an Arcadia of this land.
If your nations band together, there is no hardship you cannot overcome.
Know love as well as grief. Honor your bonds. Carry the light, and nothing will be impossible.
Lead with compassion, Divine One, and may your happiness be eternal.
This is the moment.
So it is.
Thank you. You are a member of our family. The emblem who connects us all. If ever we cross paths again. No. When we cross paths again, I hope that you will remember us. We who existed together for this time. The 13 emblems.
Of course I'll remember you. Everything about you, and all the times we shared. Even when we're apart, we'll always be connected. Thank you for standing with me. Until the very end.
Is there not supposed to be an emblem between Marth and Celica? Like for Fire Emblem 2?
Goodbye, emblems. My family. You gave me courage, strength, and inspiration. I will follow your example. Always. Let's go back home, everyone. Back to Elyos.
And home we go. So hopefully it'll go into the credits. Yeah, the turn counts. Okay. Is there a way to speed this up? No? Okay, well. Alright, well, I guess this is as close to a credits thing as we'll get. So yeah, I think that this had the potential to be the best game from a gameplay perspective. However, the economy design in this game is horrendous. The fact that you don't get gold, really, the fact that in order to get skills you have to get SP, and SP is tied to experience, so it's about grinding. A lot of this game feels like it's a mobile game, but on the Switch, and that's terrible. Because the whole point of a mobile game is that you have it on your phone all the time. You basically use it as a time waster, right? That doesn't work when you're having to like sit down with the game and actively play it. And spending time grinding for experience and SP for skills just feels bad. Like, I could have spent all my SP on skills that were useless, and it wouldn't have helped me actually progress through the game. So, I mean, the problem is that I think that they had the right way to do skills in Radiant Dawn. Is every unit gets a personal skill, every unit has a skill gauge, and you can swap the skills around, but if you take a personal skill off, then it starts to cost some of the skill gauge, whereas otherwise you get it for free. But that still means that you can just take it off one person and put it onto another, and you get that action for free, essentially. Like getting Resolve off Fiona and giving it to someone who can actually make use of it is like, that's kind of like a strategic decision to make. And every game since Radiant Dawn has had kind of a terrible skill system. I mean, Awakening's fine, because it's level 5, level 10, level 15, kind of like this one. Fates, didn't really play Fates to engage with the skill system. The skill system in Fire Emblem Three Houses, again, it's pretty good, actually. You know, it's tied to the classes that you play. So, for example, being a sniper means that you get Hunter's Volley and stuff like that. It's combat arts rather than skills, but it's basically the same thing, right? And then again, you get the skills as you progress through that class. And yeah, having skills be able to be swapped around here is great for customization, and you can turn anyone into anything. I kind of hate that being like the main gameplay thing. Like, I would like my unit to be the unit I want to be using them for. Like, Kagetsu's a Swordmaster. I'm going to use him as a Swordmaster, just put him into the Swordmaster class. And you can have him as a Wyvern Knight and a Griffin Knight and a whatever, a General. And that's fun for replaying, but not for actual playing. Like, I would prefer having a unit, they promote into their intended class. Maybe a split promotion, like in Sacred Stones. And that adds a little bit of complexity, but otherwise it's like, why, you know? So, economy design is terrible. You don't get any money, and if you want to get money, you have to grind, and grinding is bad on hard mode. And that leads into my other thing, which is hard mode feels like it just wasn't really play tested. For some things, at least. I think I've seen someone say online that hard mode asks you to make the best use of your skills, and maddening is about optimizing it to the fullest extent. You can't really do that on a first playthrough, because you don't know when you're going to get the skills. Like, you got the emblems taken away from you in Chapter 11, it's like, guess you should have had Cancer before then, you know? And then suddenly that's a massive difficulty spike in the game. It's like, oh yeah, you've got no emblems now. Like, I played this with the DLC emblems from the Divine Paralogs. Imagine if I didn't have those. I'd be like, oh, I have no emblems whatsoever. I can't do anything here. That just feels... I mean, it makes sense from like a narrative thing of we're taking the emblems away and now you're feeling the pinch. But Yeah, and also, if you've been paying attention as we've gone through the battle data, you'll notice that the time it took to complete maps is a lot shorter after Chapter 19. Or is it Chapter 17? One of the two. Yeah, 2 turns on the Azure Twin, for example. And I guess that's another point, is I think I have kind of aged out of being able to spend a lot of time on a single map. Like, 3 hours on a single map? Like, it was a pretty epic map, to be fair. You know, fighting the 4 hounds with all the emblems against us, and it felt like a real showdown, and we only just managed to scrape through it. But I don't have that kind of time anymore, and I doubt many people who play these games as a casual perspective do. Another thing that's a bit confusing is about the difficulty selection. Like, why can't I turn the difficulty from normal to hard and hard to normal? Like, I can only turn it down. But they did the difficulty selection from normal to hard to maddening on the Fell's analog. And it's just... there must be something to do with, like, having to load in the map and all the enemies on it, and the placements and the AI patterns and so on, that makes it difficult to just switch them up and down. So it's like, oh, we'll just turn it down. But you don't even get to choose classic and casual when you turn it down. It's normal classic, hard classic, or madden classic, or normal casual, hard casual, madden casual, and then actually I don't know if you can do madden casual, but yeah, it's just strange decisions. And another thing is the story as well. It's kind of like, I'm past the point of being able to enjoy the Saturday morning anime cartoon kind of, yeah, we're all going to defeat the big bad, but first we're going to go through all the different regions and we're going to pretend that these guys are going to be major antagonists. The best part of this game were the 4 hounds, and I wish there was more of it. I wish they were like the recurring antagonist, as well as like Sombron, rather than going through the whole rigmarole of, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to have Sombron be the final boss, but Ivy and Hortensia and Tamara and Fogado are going to be antagonists. You know, Diamant and Alcris. It just... I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of over it. To be fair, a lot of these complaints I have with the game are also because I played this in probably the worst way possible. So, yeah. So, RiggyRob took after Lumera as a Divine Dragon Monarch. Bonds he forged with allies resulted in lasting peace. Records speak of a blue-haired emblem cutting down the last of the corrupted, but whether this was the new monarch or one of his allies is a mystery. Vander. After the Divine Dragon Monarch took the throne, Vander ceded his role as steward, choosing to live as a knight on the Somniel. The new monarch and his friends visited Vander often. He always met the group with a smile and he took great joy in remembering their journey. No paired endings, because I didn't actually go through support grinding. Well, and it would have been grinding as well. Clan succeeded Vander as a steward. He grew older. His level-headed demeanor was likened to Vander's own. He was so revered, the Divine Dragon Monarch, that when it was time to select the 34th generation of stewards, he tested candidates on their love for me. Fram served as a steward, maturing into a protective force and every bit as calm and attentive as Vander. Her zeal for the Divine Dragon Monarch never waned. When it came time to choose the next steward, she held a cheering contest for all the candidates. Oh yeah, Alfred fell off massively. As King of Firene, Alfred forged a new non-aggression pact with Lethos and the other countries, ensuring a long period of peace. Records reveal Alfred's reign was brief, as he died an early death. However, he was loved by his people, and there was no doubt his life was full of joy. Well, that's a bit dark. Etier, besides serving Firene with her own strength, Etier bulked up its soldiers with a regimen of weight training and muscle stimulants. Some said that this was at odds with the nation's pacifist ethos, but it was celebrated in her own town. To this day, orange flowers are grown in her honor. Boucheron. Boucheron worked for many years to restore Firene. Upon seeing Flora Port fully restored, he cried tears of joy. He travelled so often between the castle and Flora that in honour of kindness and dedication, the road connecting them was called Boucheron's Passage. And yeah, basically used him as a magic cannoneer once. Celine dedicated her life to peace in the kingdom of Firene. This sometimes meant taking the unpopular position and punishing those who disturbed order. Her favourite tea became known as Tea of Blessings in Firene. Legend had it that those who drank the tea would find joy. Louis. Louis retired as a knight and became butler to the royal family. The black tea he brewed in his attentive care aided them in running the government. His interest in people watching was a lifelong love, but however many tried to join him, he always preferred to stroll gardens alone. And Chloe. Chloe comforted the royal family and her fellow soldiers with deliveries of folk food. Soon Firene's local delicacies started including more unusual flavours. Years later she met someone at a food stall and they had a fairy tale whirlwind romance that blossomed into lifelong love. Diamant. As the new king of Brodia, Diamant ordered a halt to all invasions and worked to reform his people's attitudes on Elusia. Some nobles resisted Diamant at first, but his vision for the future earned their favour. By exporting ore, Brodia was able to shift to a booming trader-based economy. Amber. Amber was overjoyed to see Diamant sit on the Brodia's throne. He patrolled the kingdom to quell post-war chaos and misadventure followed him with every step. In time became one of the very legends he had so admired. Portraits always placed him near an alpaca confounding scholars. Jade. Jade celebrated Diamant's rise to the Brodian throne with pride and further dedicated herself to Brodia as a Knight of the King. She always found time to write despite her busy schedule and managed to complete over 100 human novels in her lifetime, all celebrated as masterpieces. Alchrist. Alchrist took on all clerical duties at Brodia Castle and provided aid to Elusia's recovery effort. The two nations grew to trust each other, expanding mutual trade. He was praised as a brilliant yet humble strategist who kept his brother, the new king, safe, just as he'd promised his late father. But he didn't stop snivelling. Lapis travelled to war-torn towns and taught citizens how to repair their homes. At every stop, she left large, delicious potatoes from the farm in her home village. The popularity of these taters brought her village wealth and prosperity and earned Lapis a new title, the Potato Goddess. Citrine. Citrine redoubled her efforts to sway Brodian nobles away from warfare by advocating for peace. Some were unmoved, but many took her words to heart. Despite the great weight on her shoulders, her graceful smile was ever present, especially at the balls and galas that she so loved. Ivy. As Queen of Elusia, Ivy strove to rebuild her war-torn nation and to improve its insular culture through diplomacy with Brodia. Her decision to import ore gave rise to a lucrative mineral processing industry. Ivy's legacy endured even after RiggyRob had passed on. What? After completing his work as Princess Ivy's retainer, Zelkor's next pursuit was to create a shelter for the children in Elusia who were orphaned by the war. He and his new family were very happy. It said that the children all learned to speak in a profound and meaningful way. Kagetsu. Kagetsu disappeared after Ivy's coronation. Some said he was searching for a worthy opponent. In fact, he had gone home to ask his family's permission to live in Elusia and serve the queen. Working under Ivy, he still made visits to Pale Signs, returning each time with a gift of rice. Hortensia. After her sister's coronation, Hortensia returned to Elusia Academy and soon graduated at the top of her class. Her natural charm was later key in negotiations with Brodia, and she and Ivy were remembered for the contributions they made to the country's prosperity. Rosado. Rosado was dubbed a knight for his service. He travelled the land seeking to destroy the corrupted for good, resuming his studies only when that task was done. Later in life, he earned further fame as an artist. A portrait of the royal family at the Acutis still hangs in Elusia Castle. Goldmary. Though she was dubbed a knight for her service, Goldmary soon discovered that her true gift was teaching. She became a top instructor at Elusia's Academy. So many of her students went on to do great things that she felt a need to apologise to her classes for the pressure placed on them. Tamara. Tamara travelled far and wide after the war. Still, she never forgot her duties as a queen, returning to the palace often to greet guests with a smile. The people Tamara met during her travels cared very much for her, and she became the most beloved queen in Solm's history. Merrin. Merrin travelled with Tamara, gathering material for her book on rare creatures. Though it had few readers upon publication, the work came to be treasured for its insights on dragons. In her later years, Merrin went back home and took her place as matriarch, uniting her village. Penette. Served Tamara as her knight and ensured her safety through devious ploys. In time, she could also subdue an enemy with a single blow. Though she searched for her missing parents, she never found them. Still, she quietly rebuilt her family's church. But she hated her family, but she hated the church, and her parents. Ricardo travelled aimlessly until Tamara's coronation and returned to the palace to serve behind the scenes as her advisor. Though few reliable accounts of his life were left in the history books, it said he met someone during his travels and they spent the rest of their lives together. Andreo founded a popular new religion worshipping all dragons. He planned a huge raucous party in Elyos, but when Vander balked, he made it slightly tamer. His cheerful howl later became known as a special prayer to the divine dragon monarch. Benet. Benet rebuilt his parents' bistro. It became wildly popular for serving dishes beloved by Somme royalty as well as RiggyRob. He left to tour the world and taste food. Protocol he learned into a book that became a Bible for chefs. Even after his death, his recipes brought joy to many. Nell. Nell settled down to a quiet life in Lethos. She helped the new monarch on occasion, but largely kept to herself. Not wanting to frighten the little ones, she assumed her dragon form only in times of great need. Future generations knew her as a guardian dragon of Lethos, and was never used. Rafal spent his days travelling the world, returning to Lethos Castle only once every 100 years to deliver a bounty of candy. Many centuries later, the bones of an unknown Fell Dragon were discovered. It said that Rafal had sacrificed his life to save the world without anyone realising. Okay, I'm not sure how that makes sense. Celestia set out to find mage dragons rumored to be living in secret. She was often confused for Zephyr of the Four Hounds, but her kindness won through. In later years, she became leader of the new mage dragon village and lived out her life loving them, and loved by them as family. Gregory. No longer needing to look tough, Gregory made himself outfits of the softest fabrics and retired to the forest hoping for a quiet life. However, word of his clothes spread and his designs became popular in Elyos. Though he struggled to meet demand, he earned enough for him and his descendants to live comfortably. Madeline. Moved to Elusia, the reflection of her homeland, and trained for years to become a knight equal to her parents. She then joined a knightly order to aid in the kingdom's recovery. In her later years, she built a house and enjoyed a quiet life there with her partner. Who was... not Anna. Anna finally reunited with her family. She had many sisters, all with the same name and face, but only she had ever travelled with the Divine Dragon Monarch. With the Emblem's success in the war, rings came strongly into fashion. She made all the profit she'd ever wanted off the trend. Jean became a great doctor, and after taking over his father's clinic, he visited Elyos once a month to make house calls. Passionate about researching new medicines, John found his village's famous tea leaves could be developed into a panacea. His discovery was studied for years. After the war, Yunaka became a street performer. She put on a captivating act for a few years and then vanished without a trace. Did she perish? Did she start a new life far away? The truth is unknown. Some say the Divine Dragon's monarch use of unusual words was due to her influence. Haya Papaya. Seedle. Seedle became famous the world over for his dancing and fortune-telling. In later years, he was a travelling performer, telling of his time with RiggyRob. According to the fortune he read for himself, he was fated to meet good people, enjoy great food, and live a very happy life indeed. Lyndon. After the war, Lyndon returned home to a leisurely retirement. He passed on a peaceful spring morning, returned to the side of his beloved wife in the hereafter. For his friends and allies, his memory lives on whenever they taste a pastry or hear the sound of thunder roaring in the sky. Saphir. Returned to Brodia Castle and took up a position in King Demant's personal guard. Later in life, she returned to her village and started a seafood restaurant. Though small, the place attracted customers from far and wide. Its menu featured a dish said to be loved by King Morion. God, it's been here 10 minutes already? Jeez. And Vale. Took over Gradlon and made it into a lush green land. She resisted the crown for over a century, then at last gave in to her people's wishes and became the first monarch of Gradlon. By then, many of her old friends had died, but their offspring and RiggyRob were at the event. Oh, we still haven't seen Movia yet. Movia strove to atone by aiding others. His good deeds continued into late life, when he went out and was never heard from again. Some say he was in an accident. Others that a victim of the Four Hounds took revenge. The only certainty is that Vale and Divine Dragon Monarch were in his thoughts until the end. And there we go. That is everyone. And that will do it for today. Thank you for watching the stream. Thank you for watching the playthrough. I'm glad we finally actually were able to get through it. Yeah, I think I summed it up through the battling stuff, but a lot of the complaints I have about this game could have been solved by it not being mobile inspired, but then a lot of it is good was mobile inspired, like the player phase stuff, the break system, for example, the actions being key to how you beat the game, So yeah, I mean, let's see. Suppose I could skip through this. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about seeing the CG art at the end. Oh, can I skip? Yeah, there we go. Alright. But yeah, I have been playing this game for long enough. Oh, that's nice. Seeing all the emblems together. Very nice. But yeah, been playing this game for too long, I think. What's this? Oh, fireworks, okay.
Today's the day of my coronation. Today, I'll be crowned the Divine Dragon. I had hoped that all of you would be standing by my side for the occasion. But I guess not.
Shine on! Emblem of beginnings!
Worth a try. I wonder if we'll ever meet again.
Aha! I knew we'd find you in here!
We must have looked everywhere.
Everyone.
The coronation is going to start any minute now.
All right, time to get changed, unless you're wearing that.
Yeah, I guess I should, huh? Huh?
Oh, hurry up! Come on!
Oh, okay. I'm coming. Someday, in the future, our paths may cross once more. Our bonds can be reforged time and again. Whenever you desire, you need only say the word. Engage!
There we go. Alright, make that save. Save cleared game data. It'll be as it was before chapter 26, but there'll be a record that you cleared it. And that is it. So, thanks for watching the stream, guys, and I'll see you all next time.